Hey Bougie Clique. Have you ever walked into a brunch or birthday gathering and felt like something was off, like the energy was more set up than celebration? Well, what if I told you that jealousy thrives in these seemingly harmless meetups, setting the stage for something even worse? Even before the nightmarish girls' trips are even planned, envious women use casual gatherings as practice rounds for manipulation, sabotage, and social takedowns. Today, we're diving into the shady ways jealous people weaponize brunches, birthdays, and vacations so you can spot the setup before it's too late. Buckle up, because this one might just change the way you look at your friendships forever.
I'ma make you a fan.
Girls' trip gone wrong, when envy turns deadly and dangerous. Jealousy is often dismissed as a petty emotion, something fleeting and harmless. But history has proven that envy, when left unchecked, can morph into something far more sinister, something capable of betrayal, violence, and even murder. From women conspiring against those they perceive as pretty privileged to tragic vacations that end in bloodshed, envy has fueled some of the most chilling stories of female rivalry. The pretty privileged target, when beauty breeds resentment. Society has long placed a premium on beauty, and those who fit conventional standards often find themselves benefiting from unspoken advantages, whether in career opportunities, social circles, or romantic pursuits. But with privilege comes resentment, and some women, unable to reconcile their own insecurities, turn their jealousy into calculated sabotage. There have been cases where women have conspired against their more attractive peers, spreading false rumors, isolating them socially, or even orchestrating physical harm. The psychological warfare can be relentless, with victims often unaware of the depth of the resentment brewing beneath the surface. In extreme cases, envy has escalated to violence, proving that jealousy is not just an emotion, it can be a motive. The infamous girl trip, the tragic death of Shanquella Robinson. What should have been a time of bonding and relaxation turned into a nightmare for Shanquella Robinson, a young woman who traveled to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, with 6 people she considered friends. But instead of returning home with memories, she never made it back at all. Her travel companions initially told her family that she had died of alcohol poisoning, but the truth was far more disturbing. A viral video surfaced showing Shanquella being brutally attacked by one of the women on the trip. The footage showed her being beaten while she was naked and defenseless, unable to fight back. An autopsy later revealed that she had suffered neck and spinal cord injuries, contradicting the alcohol poisoning claim. Despite the overwhelming evidence, justice has been slow. The individuals involved, dubbed the Cabo Six, returned to the U.S. and have largely remained silent. Shanquella's family has fought tirelessly for accountability, filing lawsuits against the FBI, the U.S. State Department, and her travel companions. The case remains tangled in legal battles, with questions over whether it should be prosecuted in Mexico or the United States. Shanquella's death serves as a grim reminder that not all friendships are built on genuine support, some are ticking time bombs, waiting for the right moment to explode. The girl who was run over, the tragic death of Amaya Cunningham. Jealousy can manifest in unpredictable ways, and in some cases, it has led to outright murder. One chilling example involved Amaya Cunningham, a 25-year-old woman who was struck and killed by a car in Forest Park, Georgia, on April 26, 2025. Cunningham had been out celebrating her younger sister's prom and her aunt's birthday when the tragedy occurred. Witnesses reported that she had been dancing in front of a car when the driver, Alexandria Larkin, allegedly accelerated and struck her, leaving her in the street. Initially, authorities ruled out foul play, but after public outcry and new evidence, the case was reopened, and Larkin was charged with first-degree vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of an accident. The tragic death of Valeria Marquez, a betrayal from within? Valeria Marquez, a beauty influencer and entrepreneur, was fatally shot while live streaming from her salon in Zapopan, Mexico, but her murder may not have been a random act of violence. There are reports that someone close to her may have played a role in facilitating her killing. Shortly before her death, Marquez expressed concern over a suspicious stuffed pig that had been gifted to her. The sender? Vivian de la Torre, a supposed friend who was present at the salon that day. Marquez reportedly felt uneasy about the gift and even considered leaving the salon, but Vivian insisted she stay, saying she wanted to see her face. Moments later, a gunman entered, asked for Marquez by name, and shot her twice, once in the chest, once in the head. Another salon worker, Erica, quickly ended the live stream to avoid showing the crime scene, but the damage was already done. Marquez had previously voiced fears about being targeted, mentioning suspicious packages and ominous messages days before her murder. Authorities are investigating her murder as a femicide, and some sources have pointed to Ricardo Ruiz Velasco, a suspected Jalisco cartel leader, as a prime suspect. Velasco allegedly had a romantic relationship with Marquez, and his criminal background has raised speculation about his involvement. While Vivian de la Torre has denied any wrongdoing, the public remains skeptical, questioning whether Marquez's own friend knowingly kept her in harm's way. The investigation is ongoing, and her family continues to seek justice for her brutal death. The lure of the trip, a jealous person's perfect setup. Envious people will use gatherings and vacations to lure unsuspecting targets into precarious situations, and when jealousy festers, some women may even conspire to harm the girl blessed with beauty and privilege. Let's unpack how envy weaponizes trips, why these settings provide the perfect opportunity for malice, and how to spot the red flags before it's too late. Trips are supposed to strengthen bonds, but for the jealous, they are opportunities to control, isolate, and manipulate. Here's how the envious orchestrate the perfect setting for their scheme. Control over the itinerary. The person with envy will often take charge of planning. They'll pick destinations or accommodations that increase your vulnerability. Think isolated locations, unsafe neighborhoods, or activities that put you at physical risk. Splitting the target from the group, whether it's separating you from the pack at a club, encouraging you to wander off alone, or coaxing you into risky behaviors, they seek opportunities where you have no backup. Alcohol and impaired judgment. The jealous are quick to push excessive drinking, knowing that intoxication dulls awareness and makes their target more susceptible to manipulation or dangerous situations. Encouraging reckless behavior. Ever had a supposed friend pressure you into doing something risky just for the fun of it? That encouragement is often laced with malice, hoping you'll land in trouble, be embarrassed, or worse. The pretty privileged girl, a target for malice. If you stand out in the group, whether for looks, charm, confidence, or status, jealousy will slither in like poison. Some women who feel overlooked will channel their resentment into orchestrated chaos. They won't admit it outright, but their subconscious mission is clear: to humble, humiliate, or harm the one who seemingly has it all. Exclusion games. They'll leave you out of conversations, subtly turn others against you, and push you to feel like the outsider despite being part of the trip. Backhanded compliments and accidental disrespect. Compliments that don't feel like compliments, snide remarks about your appearance, and dismissive behavior are all signs that you're walking into an unhealthy dynamic. Setting you up for danger, whether it's encouraging you to trust the wrong people, pushing you into unsafe situations, or actively sabotaging your safety, envious women will go the extra mile to see harm done. Why trips are the perfect setup for harm. A girl's trip presents a unique opportunity for envy to turn deadly. Here's why. You're away from your normal support system, there's no family, real friends, or familiar places to retreat to when things go south. You're forced to rely on the group. When tensions rise, you don't have the luxury of walking away easily. The dynamics of the trip make it harder to escape. There's a sense of anything goes. People behave differently on vacation, sometimes shedding inhibitions and morals in ways that allow jealousy to fully manifest into action. Unexpected circumstances can be used against you. Lost luggage, stolen belongings, or sudden changes in plans can be orchestrated to make the trip miserable for the targeted person. The social setup. When brunches and birthdays become battlefields. Not every betrayal requires plane tickets and passport stamps. Some of the most calculated takedowns happen in casual settings. Brunches, birthdays, and so-called chill meetups provide the perfect stage for jealousy to manifest in real time. Here's how these gatherings become strategic battlegrounds for envy-fueled scheming. The strategic guest list. Ever been invited to an event where suddenly, an old enemy or toxic acquaintance conveniently shows up? Jealous people will curate gatherings to ensure maximum discomfort or force awkward interactions. Undermining the target publicly, whether it's spilling secrets at the dinner table, making the target the butt of the joke, or pushing personal insecurities into public conversations, envious women use casual meetups to socially sabotage. Turning friends against each other, before the event even begins, the jealous instigator will plant seeds of doubt, ensuring whispers and side eyes make the target feel isolated the moment they step in. The accidental humiliation tactic. Ever been encouraged to wear something bold, only to be mocked? Or hyped up to try something new, only for it to backfire? These moments aren't coincidences, they're orchestrated. Casual meetups allow jealousy to thrive without obvious confrontation. It's never outright hostility, but rather a slow, insidious unraveling of the target's confidence, reputation, and comfort in the group. Why small gatherings are the ultimate testing ground. Unlike trips, where escape is difficult, brunches and meetups allow the jealous to experiment with tactics in real time, seeing what works, who will turn against the target, and how much damage they can inflict without being called out. If you constantly feel drained, excluded, or picked apart at these gatherings, pay attention. The trip is just the next step in their agenda. How to protect yourself. Not all friendships are safe, and not all trips are good for your well-being. Here's how to safeguard yourself from jealousy-fueled harm. Vet your travel companions. Before agreeing to a trip, ask yourself, do I trust these people with my life? Because that's essentially what you're doing when traveling with them. Recognize shady behavior beforehand. If someone exhibits jealousy, passive aggression, or mean girl tactics in regular life, their behavior will only escalate in a trip setting. Have a backup plan. Always know your escape routes, alternative accommodations, emergency contacts, and solo transportation options in case you need to remove yourself. Listen to your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Your intuition is your greatest ally. Final thoughts. Jealousy is a natural human emotion, but when it festers, it can become a force of destruction. Whether through social sabotage, physical violence, or calculated betrayal, envy has led to some of the most tragic stories of female rivalry. Unchecked jealousy can turn deadly, and the consequences are irreversible. Girls' trips should be memorable for the right reasons, not because you were betrayed, manipulated, or endangered by those you called friends. When envy is left unchecked, it morphs into something dangerous, and group trips or gatherings provide the perfect stage for calculated sabotage. The key is understanding that not all invitations are genuine, not all friendships are safe, and not all trips are worth taking. Choose your companions wisely, because a beautiful destination or gathering can quickly become a nightmare when jealousy enters the equation. Women should uplift each other, not tear each other down. Because when envy goes too far, the price is often paid in blood. Choosing the wrong friend group could be the biggest mistake you ever make. Jealousy doesn't attack in one big move, it builds, it tests the waters, and it escalates. If brunch feels like a chess game and a trip feels like a trap, you need to pay attention. Because trust me, the manipulation started long before you even packed your bags. Vet your circle, listen to your gut, and don't let envy set you up for failure. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more raw discussions, and drop your craziest girls' trip or meetup story in the comments below. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay one step ahead of the jealous ones. Until next time, bye. What do you think? Are girls' trips dangerous? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.